Hey guys, it's NerdGasm, and something I've yet to discuss on my channel is the negative zone. It's a parallel dimension and universe to that of Earth that is entirely made up of negatively charged matter, or antimatter. At the center of the negative zone is a powerful vortex, essentially a black hole that is ripping the universe apart, known as the annihilation area, or the crossroads of infinity. The negative zone is incredibly unstable, and for that very reason is basically uninhabited. There is some life in this dimension, however, and these individuals have sought to rule over the negative zone, and even conquer the Earth, by bridging the gap between dimensions. One of the most notable of these creatures, named Denialists, debuted in the Fantastic Four Annual number 6 from November of 1968, the focus of today's Supervillain breakdown. In many of his appearances, Annihilus has been depicted as the ruler of the negative zone. He was a life spore desperately released by a group of Tyenans who had crash-landed on a volcanic planet called Arthros. Tyenans were an intelligent species that traveled the negative zone for planets capable of supporting life, and seeded them with special canisters to spread life across the universe. They basically impregnated planets. They liked to get around. Anyways, Annihilus was one of these life spores, and the only one to survive the harsh conditions of Arthros. His body mutated and evolved into the insect-like creature you see before you. Annihilus makes use of a device known as the Cosmic Control Rod, which is located on his chest. It gives its wielder the power to absorb, amplify, and control the cosmic energies of the negative zone, and thus is a symbol of authority within that dimension. It allows Annihilus to project powerful blasts of energy, teleport himself to anywhere in the negative zone at any given time, increases his strength, speed, and reflexes, and slows down his aging process, making Annihilus virtually immortal. Flaunting his immortality and power, Annihilus proceeds to, well, annihilate all those who are weaker than him in the negative zone. He enjoys killing and destruction, and views himself as the living death who walks. The Fantastic Four enter the negative zone in search of antimatter particles. Why? Because Reed Richards needs them to treat Sue's blood, which is still suffering from cosmic radiation, and is creating complications with her pregnancy, and could lead to the child's death. Pretty heavy stuff. Annihilus learns of their entry into the negative zone, and like all villains possessing immense power housed within a particular weapon or item, becomes paranoid that they will try and take the Cosmic Control Rod, something he views as his and no one else's. Annihilus comes face to face with Mr. Fantastic, who is no match for Annihilus's immense power. With the help of the Human Torch and the Thing, Reed is eventually able to wrestle the rod away from Annihilus, believing it will help them treat Sue and save the baby. The villain sends an army of negative zone creatures after their ship, a ship they stole from Annihilus to escape, but Mr. Fantastic uses the control rod to create a protective cosmic shield around them. Annihilus reaches the heroes, and they negotiate. Reed will return the rod to Annihilus only if he allows him to extract some antimatter energy from it so he can save his wife. They agree, the three heroes return home, and Susan gives birth to one of the most powerful beings in the entire Marvel Universe at this point, Franklin Richards. Annihilus tried to drain the boy's energy to make himself stronger in one story, which would have killed the child, but of course he was stopped by the Fantastic Four and little Frankie's demon eyes. That's terrifying. A more modern appearance by Annihilus, and by far his most notable, was during the 2006 to 2007 crossover Annihilation, where he leads a giant armada of negative zone warships called the Annihilation Wave, and attacks the main positive matter universe, destroying and conquering several planets in the process. It's got Thanos in it, Galactus being turned into a giant superweapon. Maybe someday I will review it. Someday. When the Cosmic Control Rod was taken from Annihilus, he showed his true colors, a desperate, obsessed, and cowardly being, terrified of dying. The thought of him expiring rocks his very existence, which is why he must always be in possession of the Control Rod, always be in possession of that sweet nectar that is immortality. He has thanatophobia, which is the fear of death, the anxiety towards it, and it probably stems from the fact that his existence, his survival on that volcanic planet all those years ago, wasn't really supposed to happen. It was a fluke in many ways, the result of a mutation. I think Annihilus is a great character, a great villain, one of the strongest the Fantastic Four has ever faced. His design is really memorable, the protective armor he wears is badass, with all those spikes, and the insectoid appearance he possesses makes him stand out from a lot of other characters in the medium. At least, I think it does. Do you like Annihilus? Do you think he's an amazing villain? Do you think he's underrated in any way? Let me know in the comment section down below. As always, this has been NerdGasm. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to subscribe and hit that bell icon to be notified of all future content I release on the YouTube channel. Help support me on Patreon if you can as well. Any bit helps. I now have a tier which allows you to nominate future hero and villain breakdowns, because keeping up with regular suggestions that have been flowing in all the time is just impossible. So this way, I have more incentive to get them done faster, sort through which ones should be priority, and of course, if you make a donation, you know what's going to get done and not just sit there for years on end. Thanks for watching, and I will see all of you in the next one. Take care.